Hello guys, this is kind of just an introduction video and then kind of like an update of all the projects going on. So I don't have too many tanks. I have wood 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, so like 25-ish. I used to have way more, but I had to move and I had to leave a lot of 10 gallons behind. And I wanted to get rid of the 10 gallons anyways, just because they are so difficult to drill without cracking and cleaning them. Just a little bit of pressure and they crack. There's not worth the aggravation for me. That and I got some nerve damage over the years, so I don't like dealing with fragile things like that. Um, but basically, I do swordtails, guppies, corridoras, some bristlenose pleco, and then I just want to get a bunch of variations of each of those and kind of stick with just that. I do some shrimp here. I got 3 more stands I'm going to set up to get the rest of the variations separated. But basically, this is how I do the live bears. I just have these floating baskets, planter baskets, and then put some window screen up there. And then the little fry, I leave the mulm in there, and the little fry just eat the little infusoria and bacteria and all the leftover food from the parents, because I don't have any plants inside the baskets up here because I took them out to clean them, but I want to put them back in there because I like to keep plants, so that way the food stays on the plants and stuff and kind of collects there a little bit, so it's not just falling straight through. So that way I don't have to worry about feeding them multiple times a day. I normally feed them in the morning and then at night. But so the babies, yeah, they basically take care of themselves. It doesn't look attractive. I'm not trying. I sell to fish stores, so I'm not trying to sell out of these things. That's why they're dirty, and I love it. Even people who don't do the no filter, this dirty tanks, they aren't dirty like this because they still like to clean them up. Now I like to clean the front glass. As you can see, this one I've kind of let go. But yeah, and then so the air bubbles will like to move this upper one here, and so eventually I'm gonna swap them all out. But I just did this. It's like a flap, and just use some aquarium safe sealant. Yeah, you can see a bunch of little baby guppies here. There's probably about 50 in there or so. And then I would like to do some media in all the breeders, I think, but leaving the mulm ain't too bad. It's just the media kind of gives a place for the mulm to stay. So when I'm fishing out the babies, I'm not just making a mess every time. And then if you look in here, this is when the babies get a little older. This is what they get between from 2 weeks to a couple months. That way they can. This is about 2 months. Well, 2.5 months probably. So I'll just do. I got a bunch of expansions, many more stands and tanks I want to do. Right now, I just did, you can see this air up here, just did some 3/4 pipes that way, because I just had leftover hose from my old room, and just had it go into this tank, or the stand, and the air just wasn't quite strong enough. So I ran that, and that will, I'm going to tee off to the center here, because I'm going to have 2 rows of 20s here, and then another stand with 40s. If you're interested, these are Stands from Home Depot. I believe it's Husky. But they're the 77 by 72s, 4-tier. Menards does have a cheaper brand, but they're like 1,500 weight capacity. These are 2,500 weight capacity per shelf. And they just feel a lot more sturdy. So I'd rather go overboard and not have it wobbling, because the other ones I would have saved $15 and then had to anchor it to the wall, and so I didn't want to do all that. And then for the next little project is, if you've watched Dan's Fish Room, I'm setting up some 1/4 inch line that I'm gonna do an automatic water change system. The biggest thing is none of my pumps are designed for that level of restriction and pressure, because that sump pump, I got aquarium pumps, they're all plastic internals. So as soon as, and it's funny because that little aquarium pump been better than that huge sump pump. But yep, that's the gist of it. If you guys are interested, I'm in Clarksburg in West Virginia. So if you guys are local and are interested, hit me up. If you guys are just interested in fish breeding, water parameters, I'll make longer, shorter, whatever videos you guys want.